All right, let's get started. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Giving Tuesday. My name is Catherine Cody. I'm a marketing coordinator at HBS Online, and I'll be moderating today's conversation. Each year, HBS Online partners with a nonprofit to help them solve a critical challenge facing their business. Our learners have collaborated in regions across the world to create compelling solutions for these organizations. Back in April, HBS Online partnered with United Planet on our third annual community challenge. United Planet tasked the HBS Online community with crafting business plans to improve the reach and scale of their virtual exchange program. 6 chapters submitted proposals, and after thorough deliberation, United Planet named the Tokyo chapter the winner of this year's community challenge. With so many well-researched proposals, they also named the challenge's first ever runner-up, the Istanbul chapter. I'd like to introduce Dave Santulli, founder and president of United Planet, Virtual Exchange Officer Donna Lubrano, and Virtual Exchange Program Manager Udu Sonogo. We are also pleased to welcome Tokyo Chapter Organizer Emmy Shatara and Istanbul Chapter Organizer Asya Charkizol. Thank you all for joining me today. We have several questions prepared for you, but we'll also be taking questions from the audience. So if you are watching on Zoom, you can use the Q&A function below. And if you're joining us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, feel free to leave a comment. So once again, thank you all for joining me today. I'm really excited for this conversation. Dave, why don't we just kick things off with you? Tell us about the work that United Planet does.
Sure. First of all, happy Giving Tuesday to everybody. And thank you once again to HBS Online for your tremendous support. It's been phenomenal. So United Planet, the mission is really in the name itself, uniting the planet, trying to bring people together, building what we call true partnership, trust, respect, understanding, and empathy across our communities and across the world, and also trying to empower and develop young people as global citizen leaders and connect them across the world. And we do that through a range of global experiential learning programs, including in-person, culturally immersive service programs, and a range of virtual programs. And this year we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. In fact, we just recently on November 19th celebrated. And the whole idea is that if we're going to address the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, the challenges that we face locally and globally, we need to be able to work together across our communities and across the world. We need to build partnership. So that's really at the foundation of what we do, building trust, building partnership, and building bridges across communities.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I also know that you founded United Planet. So what inspired you to found it?
Thank you. Well, let me first say that since the founding, it's been a team effort the entire way. So many people have contributed to the mission and work of United Planet. So I am so grateful to everyone who's participated in this very special organization and mission. I would say going back, I had the opportunity to have a global experiential learning experience when I was in middle school. And I was able to go to Russia during a time when there was a lot of tension and meet people on both sides in Russia, and obviously hearing situation in the US and understanding the fears and the misperceptions that people had on both sides. But then also learning about the common dreams and hopes that people on both sides had for a better life, for a more peaceful world, and realizing that we needed to do something to make that happen, to bring people together and create those positive relationships. And that initial international experience kind of inspired my curiosity to learn about different countries and cultures and see as much of the world as possible. And I ended up living overseas for quite a few years. And when I came back, 9/11 happened. right after coming back, and it was this clarion call that we needed to do something to bring our communities together, to build partnership, to build understanding, and to build trust. And since then, like I mentioned, it's been a tremendous team effort.
That's really powerful, like to have your own international studying experience and then also paired with 9/11. I'm so glad you started it. Now, what motivated you to participate in the community challenge this year?
Great question. It was a pivotal year, our 20th anniversary. We had recently launched in recent years this virtual exchange program, striving to connect schools from all over the world. And we were really looking to ramp it up. And we had an opportunity to work with the elite learners and professionals within the HBS online community. I've been astounded by their abilities, their capacities, their passion to contribute. So we embraced that opportunity to work with them and invite them to help us achieve our mission and expand our mission at a time when it's really needed in the world.
Yeah, thank you. And we were really pleased and honored to work with you too. Udo and Donna, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the virtual exchange program, which was the focus of the community challenge?
Thank you, Catherine. So United Planet Virtual Exchange Program is a pre-pandemic initiative that United Planet launched back in 2018. So it was before the pandemic, to provide experiential learning opportunity to secondary school around the world. It's a school-based experiential learning platform where participants connect and collaborate on sharing as well as celebrating their cultures, while also addressing local challenges for case studies. And the case studies can cover aspects of the cultures or the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. The program provides participants with the opportunity to develop the global competency skills, among which include cultural awareness, global leadership, cross-cultural communication and collaboration, civic engagement, problem solving, all through facilitated synchronous live meetings and asynchronous activities. Our goal is really to reach out to students of all socioeconomic backgrounds across diverse regions of the world, connecting them with the local communities and the rest of the world, so to break down barriers, build trust, and global understanding, while also developing essential skill for their academic and career success later on.
Fantastic. And Donna, do you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I wanted to build off what Udo said. I think for me personally and professionally, this is such an important part of the learning experience for every age group, K through 12. And we're seeing more of that trickle into the educational system. It really is important equalization in the educational system because historically, cultural exchange has been limited to those who could either have the time or could afford it. And with virtual exchange, we now have an opportunity to flip the narrative on that and to create opportunities for all students, as Udo said, regardless of geographical location or financial situation. So we're super excited about the program and see a great future for it in the years to come.
Absolutely. And the fact that it was started in 2018, pre-pandemic, I mean, that goes to show that you don't need a pandemic to harness the power of virtual exchange. Yeah. So just turning it over now to our chapter organizers. Why did you become involved in the HBS online community? And what motivated you to take part in the community challenge this year? Emmy, how about we start with you?
Thank you so much for having me as a panelist. I'm very humbled I have been served as a volunteer organizer for Tokyo Chapter and leading Tokyo Chapter since its founding in 2018, when the global chapter has started, and also mentoring global chapters recently. I have experiences to attend global conferences so far and engaged in global business. So from such experiences, I found a strong mission to set up a chapter in Japan as an inaugural global chapter of HBS Online. For the motivation, this community challenge, it's our third year challenge. And this year community challenge has been announced at the last HBS Online annual event called Connect, where Harvard Business School Dean also attended. So we found that HBS Online is more focusing on community challenge. So we Tokyo Chapter team has worked very hard as a role model of the global chapters under pandemic, inviting global members. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, to have so many chapters returning for the third time, for the third annual community challenge, it is really great to see that year over year. Asya, what about you?
Thank you. First of all, thanks for the opportunity. This is Asya, Istanbul Chapter Community Organizer. I want to thank my dedicated team, first of all, Eren, Alper, and Tomaso. As a team, we like the idea behind the foundation, which unites young all around the world. I personally do volunteer work since my childhood. During university, I was a member of Youth NGO, community volunteers, whose mission is just do something to change what is needed. Criticizing is not enough. So that gives the power to improve society to the youth. They're still active and making various projects. So I also do charity runs around 10 years for different NGOs for various projects. We as a team see the power of giving, how charity became more powerful and work for goodness for whole society. NGOs are like equalizers, upgrades community and creates new social rules in needed, increase the peace, since we understand each other better. Today's children and young people are tomorrow's leaders. So we as a team wanted to contribute and create awareness about United Planet in our locals. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It really is awesome to be able to influence the future based on your own ideas. And it seems like all 6 chapters who submitted proposals really did that. So Dave, why don't you tell us a little bit about the kind of responses and ideas that you received from these 6 HBS Online community chapters?
Sure. Thank you. And I think, as Sia mentioned, there's such an alignment of values, and people within the HBS Online community really seem to understand the mission and support the mission, which was so helpful in generating, I think, some tremendous ideas and responses that were preceded by many questions that helped inform what they prepared. The breadth of the proposals was really remarkable. All of them were very well researched, strategic, creative, everything from marketing plans to ideas on technology platforms, funding proposals, partnership development plans, multimedia and branding presentations, and even cryptocurrency strategies as well. So very well thought out and presented. And I would like to say that we'll be drawing ideas and tactics and strategies from all of the proposals. We're grateful to all of the chapters. And as we mentioned earlier, many of them were extremely high up, and it was a tough decision.
Yeah, I also read all of the proposals, and the creativity just blows me away. I mean, that's why we do the community challenge, right? To see everybody's creative and very intelligent minds coming together to solve problems. So it's great to see. Asia, why don't you tell us about the main idea from your Istanbul chapter's proposal and what it was like to work with your chapter?
This year's challenge was in line with the context of pandemic condition. Virtuality becomes our new reality, and United Planet wanted to increase their effectiveness in virtual events. So, despite of the pandemic, United Planet mission was so vivid proof of people still want to contribute to the community and keep volunteering. So we also as a team haven't met physically, not yet. We all do our work in virtual. We also are proof that we can make some change no matter how much physical distances between us. So that motivated us. We dedicated our proposal to determine the needs and try to find applicable practical solutions. So we created digital marketing tools such as videos, ad targeting, and they are ready for use. You can exercise them anytime. And we offer other digital platforms which increase the engagement of participants. Further, we told about how we can spread United Planet in local. So we contact with local NGOs and started the initial conversation. We are still looking for NGOs, collaborations, making links between local NGOs and United Planets. If someone listening from Istanbul, if it's some school or an NGO, you can contact with us. So we offer school networks to increase the spread, and we want to use the universal language, but when youngs from all around the world, the art, like music, painting, puppet, those soft skills. Nobody needs to learn English. So our team has diversified professions. Tommaso is Italian and he's a marketing strategist. So he framed our proposal. Eren is a digital marketing expertise. He made the ads and marketing tools. The finance person who has an audit background. So I am the suspicious and efficiency looking way. And Alper has 2 teenagers, a boy and a girl. So who knows teenage needs right now? So we all work together. So that was fantastic with working as a team for United Planet.
That's great. I love how you just talked about everyone bringing their own strengths to the table and even just like knowing what teenagers want to read or see. Yeah, everyone bringing their own strengths. Emmy, how about you? Tell us more about the main idea behind the Tokyo chapter's winning proposal and what it was like to work as a team.
Yeah, first of all, I really appreciate our wonderful team. And our Tokyo chapter has consisted of diverse team members in Japan and Asia mainly, and also successful to get the global attraction, and created realistic partnerships in Japan and Asian trend for long-term sustainable success. So we provided the branding and various feasible ideas in Japan with technology, marketing, and funding. With the stage of the short term and middle term and long term. And based on the research, and we have submitted so many pages proposals, and we did all the team meetings online successfully. And this is very experimental and very wonderful moment. And we have met talented team members with mid-career and senior and young professionals, and even in the students in Myanmar. And I really appreciate them. And after the competitions, I have conducted the meeting with ITU Regional Office, Asia and the Pacific for the United Planet for proceeding the strategies. Yeah, I really appreciate all. Thank you.
Yeah, so many great ideas, and but I'll let Dave and the United Planet team talk about that. So
Sure.
Dave, tell us why you chose the Tokyo chapter as the winning proposal.
So many good reasons to share. And the teamwork and coordination and the level of effort was incredible, really admirable, that the Tokyo chapter put in. I believe the proposal was over 90 pages, extremely comprehensive, and had a localized approach of how to enter and expand within the Japanese market, how to look at some other countries as well within Asia, as well as ideas on multi-year expansion and organizational structure that goes along with that, funding ideas, very specific and realistic, as Emmy-san mentioned, partnership ideas, and we are very grateful for your support in developing the connection with ITU, which is one of the oldest agencies within the United Nations. So just overall, tremendous depth, a real roadmap that we could take and use to expand our impact throughout Japan, and throughout the region, and very impressive work. We're very grateful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, truly impressive. And Donna, why don't you talk a little bit about how you decided to name the first runner-up in the Istanbul chapter?
Making a decision was very difficult. Udo, Dave, and I had numerous conversations about the merits of our two picks for the top spot, and there was no way that we couldn't acknowledge one of them, right? Leave one of them out. So that's why we decided to do a runner-up. And certainly Turkey presented a fantastic proposal as well. It had great elements of practical application. It had ideas about marketing and communications. It had an analysis of our target market and what those needs were. I could go on and on and on about how important the work that Turkey did. It actually addressed an area of the world that I had been trying to penetrate last year and was not successful. So it's also a strategic success and an opportunistic success as well, because as my role is to really get involved in certain areas of the world, and Turkey is definitely one of them coming on to 2022. And Asiya and I have already started to target several schools for the upcoming grant season. So these are the kinds of things that me personally in my role that I was looking for, something that I could execute within the couple of months. I think Asiya and I were working within a couple of months of the presentation. And so that's one of the reasons why we couldn't let one go. We could not acknowledge one, because it was so powerful and so strong. And the work was fantastic. Even recommendations on how to put our website together, how to make our website better, which is going to come in handy as we develop another part of the program. And all those observations and all of those suggestions will come in handy as we develop that website. So wonderful work. Thank you. Thank you, Asiya and team.
That's fantastic. And yeah, I mean, just what I love about them is that they really do complement each other. I know, Dave, you already mentioned that you're going to be using ideas from multiple proposals, but the fact that the Tokyo chapter and the Istanbul chapter's proposals work so well hand in hand, I mean, that's exactly what we hope. Udo, why don't you share some of your takeaways from the community challenge?
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to echo Dave and Donna. It was a tough call to really make a decision and decide which one to pick. But we are just so thankful for HBS and all of the chapter that participate in the community challenge. for the opportunity and support our program. And this also kind of really goes to reinforce the importance and the power of partnerships, goal number 17 of the Sustainable Development Goals as well. So if we really work together with true partnership and collaboration, we definitely have the opportunity to really solve many of our shared challenges around the world. So I just want to again say thank you to all who participate, and especially Harvard HBS, and we look forward to the great opportunities ahead.
Yeah, so do we. And tossing it back over to the community chapter organizer side, what takeaways do you have from this experience? Why don't we start with Emmy?
Thanks. My takeaway are to gain the confidence to contribute by taking servant leadership in difficult situation in this pandemic. And I'd like to introduce a book I have received in the last Harvard Business School online event Connect 2019 I attended, and which written by Professor Nancy Cohen, Poetry in Crisis. The book inspired and encouraged me with its journey. So the lesson is helping others also helps you in challenging this time. Yeah, this is my takeaway. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And Asia, what about you? What about your takeaways?
When I was 12 or 13 years old, I had a male friend from US, and we were writing each other and waiting for a month or something like that. But right now, United Planet has the power to unite all youngs around the world. So I want to give the opportunity to the youth to connect with each other. So as HBS Online, we are taking courses from since 2015, and we are now knowing each other, and we understand each other better. So no matter where you are, you have that power to change the society. So just use it. Just use your power and make some changes. So that's our takeaways from this challenge.
I think that's beautiful. I think everyone should, ingrain that, take that to heart. Actually, it looks like we are ready to take some audience questions, if you're ready for it. So one question that we had that came in from Melissa was, she says, the impacts of the project look immense. How will they be measured? So Udo, I understand that you've developed the metrics for this.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. And that's a great question. So we have a framework within United Planet. It's a 5-pillar of global competency called the Global Competency Framework. So our program focuses on global competency skills development. So we use that framework to develop the metrics, indicators that will allow us to capture the impact of the program. And these include areas related to relation diplomacy, global understanding, global leadership, civic engagement, as well as academic and professional competencies. So these are broadly the areas that we looked at and develop indicators that we can use to track the impact of the program.
That's great. Thank you for answering that. From Vanessa, we have, what programs does United Planet offer and how can people get involved? So Donna, how about you take this one?
Sure, no problem. Yes, so the virtual exchange program has two programs. One is a classroom to classroom exchange that happens during the academic year, and that's for grades 7 through 12 or ages 13 through 18. And that comes in 2 modules, one in the fall and one in the spring, and those are 8 weeks. And are recruiting classrooms from all over the world. Right now, we have 8 countries and 400 students in the current academic year. Very exciting. And in the summertime, we have our summer global health program with our partner in Iraq. And that includes students from high school students and college students on teams to address global health challenges. And this year is super exciting. It's climate change and impact on human health. So very topical, very exciting. How can you get involved? If you're a student, you can connect with us via our website and connect us to your teacher or your classroom, and we'll be glad to reach out. If you're a teacher, you can do the same thing through our website. You can reach out to me directly if your classroom or your school is interested in. If you're a principal or a superintendent or a school administrator, certainly reach out to me as well. We are looking for schools, classrooms, teachers who are passionate about the work that we do. We help with funding. We help with scholarships. We do training. So we're here to help however you need it, but we are definitely interested in answering any questions that anybody, any stakeholder has who's interested in the program.
Thanks for answering that, Donna. And I just wanted to note too that we've dropped Donna's contact information in the chat. So if anyone listening wants to contact her directly, you can use her email address that's there.
Yes, please.
All right, it looks like we have a question from Larissa for Dave. So Dave, Larissa asks, there are many similar programs and nonprofit organizations to United Planet around the world. From your perspective, what makes United Planet unique and different from all other programs and organizations? Thank you.
Wonderful question. Well, I think we need many organizations to tackle, these issues. I'd like to think some aspects of our approach are unique. As an organization, if I had to describe United Planet in one word, it would be relationships. That relationships are the building blocks for a more united planet. And that emphasis of building relationships and honoring and cultivating relationships is at the core of all of our programs. And it runs through it. And it's the basis of what we try to do. And emphasis on partnership development and not necessarily going for vast numbers of participants, but really looking at the quality of the experience and making sure that we're accomplishing, as Udo laid out very well, our learning outcomes and objectives within communities. So I would say those are a few, and I'm not sure if Donna and Udo have any thoughts to add, but those would be some of the main areas. And let me also, one more, the very special people who have been involved, who are involved, the community of United Planet across more than 40 countries. It's been working extremely hard over 20 years to build partnerships and relationships. And while a lot of organizations have different missions that are specific to different areas, I really don't know of many that are specifically focused on building a more united planet, a more sustainable and peaceful planet. Those would be a few thoughts.
Thanks. Yeah, and Donna and Udo, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
I think, having been involved with United Planet over the course of 7 years in various roles, I think what's most notable is the fact that each one of us, myself, Udo, Dave, come with our own personal experience that drives our passion for what we're doing. It's not only grounded in the mission of United Planet, but it's also our personal experience in international education, our own history. And each one of us brings that to the table, and that's the differentiator. It's not just our job title, it's our personal commitment as well. And I think, as I said, that's the differentiator.
It's very
Yeah.
well said.
Yeah, just quickly adding to what David and Donna mentioned. So it's really about building relationship. And as Donna also mentioned, relating to our personal experiences. So this is really true. I participated in the Fulbright program years ago, and so it's really a personal mission for me as well. So there's really a great power in connecting, people around communities, building that relationship. I think everything really comes from that. In order to do certain work, people need to connect. People need to have that trust, that understanding, so that they can collaborate, share, and address, challenges. So that's really the true, that's the mission of United Planet, building that connection and strengthening relations between communities around the world.
Yeah, David, you have something you wanted to add?
I just wanted to also add that it's about the co-creation, working together. You see our logo with lots of hands. It's about inviting others in, inviting people in to join and help co-create a more united planet. And when we work together like this and problem solve and have to address challenges, we develop these 21st century skills, which are essential to solve the problems, current problems and problems that we can't even expect will come our way in the future. But if we have the ability to collaborate, if we have the ability to work together and problem solve and be creative in our thinking, then we truly can address the sustainable development goals and develop our potential.
That was a fantastic answer. I'm so glad you all chimed in. And I'd just like to say too, once again, that goal of uniting the planet and connecting people in physically different parts of the world, that's also part of the HBS Online Community's mission. So it's really great that we can partner together to take our global community to work towards building your vision of a more global community. With that, actually, Dave, why don't you let us know what is in store for the future of United Planet? And if anyone's wondering about how to learn more, where should they go?
Oh, sure. Well, thank you, Catherine. And once again, I just want to thank everyone within the HBS online community, all of the chapters, all of the supporters. You did wonderful work. We are so grateful. And we'll be utilizing your work, and we hope to continue our relationships together. As we look into the future of the Global Virtual Exchange Program, we're launching a platform called uniteallschools.org, which just recently has gone live. So I encourage you to look at it. And the mission of it is in the name, again, uniting all schools, bringing together as many schools as we can from across different countries to get students working together, problem solving together, working on projects related to the sustainable development goals, education for sustainable development, and also building bridges and trust across the communities. So this is a major, endeavor that we have. And I think as Asiya captured it best when you said that children and students are future leaders. So we need to invest in them. And this is a very important way of doing that. Let's get them working now on the challenges that they're going to face later. Let's give them a canvas and opportunities to solve problems and collaborate and build relationships. And that will give us hope for a brighter future, a more united planet, a more sustainable planet. And I hope that the folks who are joining might reach out and get engaged. We would love for you to do so. And if you're looking for how to do that, you can visit us on our website, unitedplanet.org. Our new website is uniteallschools.org. It's specifically to the Global Virtual Exchange Program. And these are a few ways that you might get involved and be in touch. And Donna, I think you also were going to share your email. I'm not sure if that's been put in the information, but
Yes.
again, thank you all. We're so grateful. And I believe Udo has his hand up. So
Yeah, who
turn it
did?
over. Back to you.
No, it's fine. Enough. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. And I just want to extend another huge thank you to everyone for having this conversation with me today. It's been really fruitful, and I love talking with all of you. And thank you as well to everyone who tuned in. If you were inspired by today's talk, you can join your community chapter at hbsonlinecommunity.org. And we have 34 chapters in the HBS Online community. So you can either sign up for the chapter that's closest to your city, or you can join our global chapter. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us, and happy Giving Tuesday.
Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thank you.